Aninginwa. Today we are going to talk about initial consonant change, and this is just one of those ease of speech rules that I like to call it. I'm not a linguist, so I don't know if that's really what it is, but it's one of those things that we have a writing rule for to be able to record something that is noted when speaking. So the consonants will change after a certain trigger, and that trigger is your time tenses gi for past and we for future. It also changes after their related forms ga and wa, which we see sometimes in questions or in B form. Well, technically in C form, but don't worry about that at the moment. Sorry, I'm a little sick today, so I apologize for my scratchy voice and a little bit fog-brained. Anyway, the changes that occur are B will change to P. Let me see, can you see that? Oh, I went too high. B changes to P, J changes to C, H, D changes to T, G becomes K, Z becomes ZH, and Z becomes S, ZH becomes SH. All right. So you may have noticed this occurring now and then in our transparent language lessons where a translation with a time tense in front may have a different one of these letters, and then in the hint or the note on it, it will say, due to initial consonant change, the root word, for example, the root word gugwedwe, he or she asks, becomes kugwedwe. So, for example, I want to make sure that that is correct. Gugwedwe, pretty sure it's ask. Gugwedwe. Search that in my dictionary just to make sure. Yep, she asks a question. Yeah. Gugwedwe. She or he asks a question. But if I want to make it past tense, she or he did ask a question, she or he asked a question, I would put the time tense gi in front. And when gi precedes a verb that starts with one of these letters, this change occurs. So instead of gugwedwe, we get gugwedwe. One of my teachers told me that this sound is not a true K. These sounds aren't really true sounds. They're more like a combination between the two. Sometimes he would write it like this to show that there's there are that double sound. So like gikugwedwe, gikugwedwe. Either way, it's something that you may notice in speakers. So it's always after those time tenses that this occurs. These are gi and we, and their relative changed forms ga and wa. That's where you will notice this happening. These only change in one direction. So a CH is never going to change to a J, a T is never going to change to a D, etc. Um, excuse me. Um, so for example, if we have the word bape, he or she laughs. Bape. And I want to say he or she did laugh. We put gi in front. Gi, that triggers this change to P because B becomes P, and you get gi pape. Gi pape. He or she laughed. Um, it also works in B form. This is A form. It's a simple sentence all on its own. B form is just a quick reminder. B form is is a dependent clause that relies on another clause for its full information. So a B form would be something like, when she laughed, you're waiting for more information. So when she laughed, we laughed too. So that could be something like, he, our root word is bape, but since it's in B form, we have a B form ending. Check out your VAI paradigms for that. That's bapid. But when you're writing or talking, pay attention. Does your verb start with any of these letters? If the answer is yes, and you have this time tense in front, you're gonna know that it has to make a change. So gi bapid, gi bapid. When she laughed, we laughed too. And so that would be like, we laughed too. If I use Nina Wind, that would be Ingi Bapimen. So we have in or ning, Ingi Bapimen. Gaye. Gaye is the two. Um, so in and min make it we, but not you, verbed. And since it is past tense, we have the gi in here. Gi attaches directly to the person. That's in our VAI persons lesson. And it triggers that constant change because our root verb is bape. And since there's the gi here, it makes the B become a P. And we have ingi, bape min, gaye. We laughed too. And so you see that this occurs in both B form and in A form. And it occurs whether the time tense stands by itself or whether it has a person in front of it. And then it also occurs, let's see, it also occurs with preverbs. So in a sentence where I want to use the preverb be, be means to come or in the direction of the speaker, from here, from hither, and paired with the word dogoshin, arrive. He or she arrives. Dogoshin. She arrives, then it would be something like I am coming here, or I am coming here. So ne Nimbidogoshin, I am coming. But that doesn't have a preverb in it, or I mean a time tense in it. So if this is preceded by the preverb, the initial consonant change occurs on this word. That sounds confusing. Sorry, hang with me here. Um, I will give a sentence. Let's see. Um, the sentence is Wika. Um, in Ingi Pitagoshin. Ingi Pitagoshin. This word means lately, seldom, ever. In this case, it means it implies that it took a long time um, for me to arrive. I think that would be, it took a long time for me to get here. Yeah, it took a long time for me to get here. That's in the past tense because they're referring to something that they had been doing, which was the process of arriving. This is I or me in. Past tense is gi. That makes the bit preverb change from B to P. Wika. Sorry. Wikaingi Pitagoshin. It took a long time for me to get here. Let's see. So let's say I ask you, what was the weather like yesterday? Anin ga Ojibwe Ogujing Bidinago. I'm running out of space to write this stuff. Sorry. Let's see here. I'm gonna take these off for a second. My question is, Anin ga Ojibwe Bidinago. What was the weather yesterday? So ga in this case is that changed version of gi, past tense. This indicates past. Ishiwebuk, what's happening outside, or the weather being outside. You could say anin ga ishiwebuk ugwajing bijinago, what happened? What was the weather outside yesterday? But the word weather kind of implies that it's happening outside, so I'm not going to write it. And you might want to say it was sunny. So, or the sun was shining, it was bright. The word for that is zagate. Zagate. It is sunshiny or sunny. Sorry for my glare here. There we go. Zagate. But we want it to be past tense. So what you would say is gi in front. You would put gi. Note that this is going to change the very next consonant. And since it starts with a Z, you look over here. Yes, Z is on our list. It changes to S. And so now our word becomes sa gate. The sun was shining. Bitinago yesterday. If you want to say, um, It rained. It is raining is give me one. And you'd have to say it was raining. So you need gi in front, and the G changes to K. Gi, give me one. It did rain. It did rain yesterday. Bitchy. Um, all right, I hope that was helpful. There is the initial consonant change document that has it explained more in depth, and there are some practice exercises as well as an answer key on there. Thank you for joining me. Sorry for my brain fog today. Have a good rest of your day.